Cari amici sportivi, welcome to a special midweek Milan Weekly Podcast special where we have a special guest today, Mr. Omar Momani. Guys, I'm super excited. He's a cartoonist, animator for Goal, the Bundesliga, the ICC, Fox. Guys, this is something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. I'm super excited. Plus, an added bonus for everybody, he's a Milanista, guys. He's a Milanista. How much better can this week get? How much better? Italy wins the Euro. Omar Momani is a Milanista and is going to be on Milan Weekly. Going to be on Milan Weekly podcast today. So I know here in the eastern part of the world, some people are on lunch joining us live. Some people will watch us a little bit later. But guys, this is an interview for the ages for us at Milan Weekly Podcast. We're very happy to have Omar on the show. So let's go, guys.
You are listening to the Milan Weekly Podcast, the English voice of Radio Rossonera and Milan fans all over the world.
Sensational from him. Rafael Leao produces a moment of utter magic.
Teo Hernandez al gol! Teo Hernandez! Ancora lui! Una meraviglia!
Ibrahimovic! Zlatan Ibrahimovic! Fuori classe assoluto!
Fuori classe assoluto. Guys, it's my pleasure to welcome to the show Omar Momani. Omar, welcome to the show.
Forza Milan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Forza Milan. How are you?
Good, my friend. How are you, Stevie?
Very good. Guys, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about Omar because you guys know at Milan Weekly Podcast we're really on the fly. But when you have a guest like Omar, and Omar, I'm pronouncing your name correctly, right? Momani?
Yeah.
Thank you, because you know me from the podcast, Omar. I screw up everybody's last name, so I'm very happy we got that out of the way, guys. Omar is a fantastic artist. You guys have heard me in the past. I'm a very strong believer of that. Everybody has their own craft, right? I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I'm an artist. I can barely draw a stick man. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I'm a journalist. The computer really helps me with spell check and my grammar. So I appreciate everybody, and to have Omar on. Look, guys, you have to follow his Twitter. So it's @omomani. The Twitter account is fantastic. His Instagram account is a must follow, guys. His artwork is fantastic, and that's at Omar Momani. You can follow him on Instagram, and he has also his website, omar-momani.com, where you can look at, guys, you keep on scrolling and there's more artwork. So Omar, I know, looking up and, like I said, it's again a pleasure to have you on, but I have to embarrass you a bit. You've been nominated 3 times by the Football Blog Awards, 2016, 2018, and 2019. I am sure that they made a mistake 2017, and I am sure 2020 they will nominate you again. If I could ask you, Omar, just for everybody, how did you get into the cartoonist and animation world?
It's a very long story, my friend. I draw since I was very young, I used to bring comic books and put a paper and trace the characters and try to draw, the cartoons on TV like Looney Tunes, Popeye, Tom and Jerry. So my parents, they noticed that I have this passion. So they started to bring me some books about learning how to draw cartoons or how to draw any illustrations. So this thing started with me and the passion started to grow up. So I draw since I think I was 5 years old, and later on, I discovered a software called Flash, Micromedia Flash, and from this software I started to learn animation, and then I became a cartoonist and animator.
Amazing, amazing. Now, if I ask you, you get into this creative world, you're obviously a creative person, and we see by your artwork and your animation work. But what inspired you to start these drawings and this animation?
You mean the football ones?
Football ones, because I know we're going to get into that a little bit later, but the secret is out. Omar does draw also more other than football. But yeah, football. What inspired you to start doing those editorial sports animations and drawings when you started?
Yeah, well, I watched football since the 1990 World Cup. And since then, it became, a passion for me to watch football, Serie A, Champions League, and so on. I am also a big fan to Mad Magazine. Mad Magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought maybe we can or I can do something similar to Mad. They joke about movies and movies and series. So I thought maybe we can do something similar and joke about football. And in 2010, I thought maybe I can start drawing editorial cartoons about anything that pops to my mind. And it was the World Cup in South Africa in 2010. And as a football fan, and as I keep on watching this tournament, I started to draw some moments, and my friends, they liked it. I used to post it on Facebook, and they asked me, why don't you keep on drawing about football? You love it, and you love to draw that way. And yes, since 2010, I started to draw about football. I have contacted Goal because I have noticed articles by Carlo Garagenze.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to write about what does he expect from a Serie A season. He used to write in a funny way, and I said to myself, this could be like the Mad Magazine material, something funny with a cartoon beside it. So I have sent them an email. I started to work with the Arabic edition, and after that, the international edition, they add me to the team.
Amazing story. And if you like, if I can, with your permission, obviously, I can share your screen and take everybody to your website, and we can talk a little bit about your designs.
Yes, of course.
Of course, Stevie always has the best luck when it comes to sharing the screen. While I go there and share the screen, of all your designs there, Omar, that you have on your website and that you've done, which one is your first design? Can you remember and recall your first design?
Yeah, I remember there is a sketch I did for Del Piero and Pirozzi in 1998. I did it in the school. Juventus, they were one of the best in the world, and my friend, he asked me, please draw me Del Piero and Pirozzi. It was, a very amateur sketch. But when I decided to make it as a career, the first sketch, it was about Maradona. Maradona the manager in 2010. That was my first one. It is available in my website, and the Del Piero one also. They are available.
Imagine those are classics and ones that you cherish forever. Look, for me, I have so many that I've seen throughout the time that you've been designing. Like the Suarez biting Chiellini. That's something that I wrote some of them down. Frank the Tank was something that's special. We have some guys here in the chat. They love the Nesta farewell, the Berlusconi pool party. People have seen the Super League, Messi free agent, Ronaldo and Pogba back to back. And even one that just going through and just looking at some of my favorite ones, remembering the one of Buffon with Thuram and Weah, and then below there's again Buffon, but with Weah and Thuram, the kids. Those things like that are so amazing. Do you and again, we have our favorite designs as fans of yours. Do you have a favorite design?
Well, I try to make the drawing that I am currently drawing is my favorite design. Because if you want to be a good cartoonist or animator, you have to keep on practicing and keep on learning. So every new cartoon, I try to practice the new experience on this cartoon. So I try to make it my favorite. So there's nothing from the past that I considered my favorite. So everything new is my favorite one.
Amazing. I knew that was going to be the answer, but I had to ask you that question, right? If we look on your website and we look on all your social media accounts, we notice, again today, just yesterday, we noticed the Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic animation, right? We look through your timeline and we see the Mercedes and the Mercedes animation and design. What else interests Omar besides football and design?
A lot of stuff. Movies, music, rock music, history, comics, these things. Yeah.
Amazing.
There are many, many caricatures about rock stars. You can find them on my website.
Amazing. And Omar, I would again, just out of curiosity, I know that every artist has their own style. Do you consider yourself as someone who has his own style, or you have a combination of styles that you make your own?
Well, I think that every artist is a combination of other artists. No one is like the original one. For me, I consider my idol in cartoons is Albert Uderzo. He's the one who drew Asterix. The comic Asterix. It's very famous in France. The guy? He has a mustache.
Yes.
Yeah.
Asterix, Obelix. Yeah, we have to remember, Omar, I'm from Montreal.
Yeah.
Bilingual, English and French. I have no choice to know who Asterix and Obelix is.
Yeah. So this guy, he is my idol in drawing cartoons. And of course, the Mad Magazine guys and the classic cartoons like Popeye and so on.
Yeah, and again, how it's changed when these guys had to draw and how you're drawing now. Just for everybody to know, has technology made it easier or more complicated for you to draw?
Well, yeah, of course, technology made it very easy and made it very smooth. Like a legend like Alberto Derzo, he used to draw on paper and color. He doesn't have the undo The
Yeah, he
undo.
doesn't have the undo
Yeah,
button.
I
No.
do a lot of undos. So, and I didn't reach his level yet. He is far away from me, but I enjoy what I do, and I think that drawing digitally helped me a lot because it made things faster and made things very easy.
Yeah, because like you said, for you have an undo button. His undo button was crumple up the paper and start again, right?
Yeah.
For you, maybe redoing a certain little section of your design, him having to do the complete design over again. So I totally get that. And also for someone like him, social media was not something that he had in his back pocket, right? To get
Yeah,
exposure
yeah.
and stuff. He was someone who had to either be in a book, in a cartoon, or in a newspaper somewhere where someone physically had to take a copy of that.
Yeah.
How have you, for someone like yourself who does so many animations and designs, how has social media helped you? Twitter, Instagram, and your website.
Well, before social media, there was no choice except to work for local, magazines and newspapers. Well, I tried a lot to work for them, but they refused the idea of drawing football. They told me we need political stuff or something like that. And because in the Middle East, it's hard to draw about politics. You just have to be, to be very careful, and there are a lot of, red lines and so on. So with social media, I'm now working with the biggest, sports websites like Goal, Fox, and the Bundesliga. Something that I wouldn't dream of, 15 years ago. So it made me an international artist. It made me, people they are knowing me from different kind of the world. People from Canada, like you. I have friends from everywhere. People are contacting me from different countries, from Europe, from America, from Asia, from Africa, and so on. So social media or in the internet, they made me the one that right now. If there was no social media, we will never heard about me. So that's the importance of it.
That's true. I don't. You know what? I'm gonna disagree. I don't think we. I think we would hear about you. It would just be much harder to hear about you. But because again, it's not because, guys, you know me. I'm a very straight shooter. I say it as it is. Omar's work is fantastic.
I also want to mention another thing. With internet now, I can study art with the best artists in the world. So now I know many tips and secrets and drawings that it would be impossible 15 years ago to learn it. So that's also a benefit.
Yeah, that's true. Knowledge sharing is much easier. We always joke. If I ask my son what the encyclopedia is, he's gonna point to Google, right? He doesn't understand that the encyclopedia used to be books about history and about what we did as a civilization. So I agree with you 100%, and true to myself as well. I'm a project manager. I'm able to get articles and share information with people that I would not even be able to connect with, right? So I'm happy that you touched on that, because in terms of sharing, my last question for you, Omar, because then we're going to get down to the real serious stuff. We're going to talk about Milan, and I want to see that aggression, the Omar aggression. What advice or what tips or what can you share, with someone who's starting in the cartoonist animation design field? What advice can you give these young guys? Like, I have an example, someone who I need to mention him on the show. You saw the graphic in the beginning. You see some of the artwork that's done. His name is Sunny. He's a Norwegian living in Australia. Imagine that. And he does some great work, but he's young and he's getting into the field. If you would have to give Sunny some advice, example, because he's someone that we know at Milan Weekly Podcast, what advice would you give to someone like Sunny who's starting in animation, cartoonist, and design?
Well, first of all, I have two advices that many people that wouldn't like it. Be patient and practice every day. It's very important to be patient and to practice every day. I keep drawing every day, even in my holidays, because I want my hand to be, to master this craft. So this is the first advice: be patient, practice every day, and be passionate about what are you doing, and follow follow technology. For example, I draw on Photoshop and I use Wacom tablet for drawing. That made my life very easy. So I advise all the cartoonist designers and so on to follow technology, to see what is new. If you are a cartoonist, you have to watch cartoons every day, or you have to read comics every day to see what is new, and you have to read about the history of this craft. You have to know why this craft became like that, and how does it develop like this. So yes, practice every day, be patient, and read and watch a lot of cartoons and comics, and follow technology, of course. Yeah.
Exactly, and and I'm pretty sure people are going to listen to you, and they should listen to you. My next one is, Omar, you surprised me, and it was probably one of your hardest things to do in your career. You actually drew, and I'm so proud, an Omar Momani of me.
Mhm.
How much memory did you waste on that, and how hard it was to draw me?
Well, it was hard because I tried to, because there was not enough references, so I have to to look to watch a lot of videos and try to capture what I have saw. So yeah, it wasn't that, I don't know if you like it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed drawing you more than Vinny. Yeah. Yeah. Vinny is harder. Yeah.
Vinny was harder. Exactly. There's
Yeah.
more of me. There's more of me than Vinny, that's for sure, just because of natural size. And also, it's something that I was just floored and surprised that when I saw it. You know what? That might replace this ugly Golden Girl canvas that I have in the back. It's going to be a big Omar Momani of me in a Milan jersey. I'm so
I'll
happy.
be glad to know that, to see that. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I promise you. Now let's go talking about Milan. Omar, it's not a secret. We know you're a Milanista, and we're very happy that you're a Milanista. What attracted you to A, football, and B, what attracted you to Milan?
Yeah. Well, when I was 6, 7 years old, everybody was talking about Diego Armando Maradona. And of course, I fell in love with him, and because, everybody says that he's the best, he is a hero, he is a World Cup winner. So I started to support Maradona. And the first tournament I ever watched was the 1990 World Cup in Italy. And it shocked me that Maradona lost the final, because superheroes, they never lose. And after the World Cup, I thought that football is over. This is it. But I discovered that there was a show called Football Italia, something like that. It was an English show that talks about Serie A, and they give game summaries. So I started to watch it, and I noticed that World Cup stars, they are all here in Serie A. And of course, I started to support Maradona and Napoli. And there was a game between Napoli and Milan, they were much, much better than Napoli. And for a 10 years old boy, I had to support the best. and the best they were Milan. And Milan, they won the Champions League. It was against Benfica. I watched the game, and wow, this is the team that I want to support. They are the best, and so on. And when you meet older boys and so on, they told you about how to support clubs, and you have to support them even if they lose or even if they are in a bad period. So I said, yes, I have to stay with Milan. But I was lucky because Milan in the 90s, they were the best, except in 2 years, in 96 and 97.
Yeah, we in the 90s we can't complain. It's better than the two from 2010 to 2021, that's for sure. But in Italian, there's a saying: "Nella gioia e nel dolore."
Yeah, of course. So yeah, that's how it started with Milan.
Amazing. And let's say for Milan, again, it's funny and again coincidence for me. Soccer, my love of soccer also started in 1990. Yes, I played a little bit of soccer locally before 1990, but it was a vacation that I took with my parents. And I remember watching Italy-Argentina in the 1990 World Cup in a little small beach house in Calabria on a small white and black TV, and seeing the penalty shot and crying for the longest time. For me, my hero is Roberto Baggio. Was my first jersey that was gifted to me from my uncle. And the love of Milan just came because of my aunt. She was a nun in a convent in Milan, and that's the jersey that she sent me over. And my father was a Juventino, so you could just imagine the household was not a happy place once I started to really get into soccer. Let's talk about favorite players. I think you mentioned it there, but your favorite Milan play. That was one of the questions that we had. It's from Forza Milan IQ on Twitter that they had for you. Your 3 favorite Milan players that you have watched.
Favorite doesn't mean the best.
No.
Yeah. I like Rod Gullit. I like Albertini. Seedorf. Yeah, maybe these are the best. My favorite player of all time is Roberto Baggio, but I don't think that he fits as a favorite Milan player. But he fits in all-time favorites. Yes,
exactly. He fits in a calcio world. He's played with the big 3. He played with Brescia. He played with Bologna. He kind of belongs to all of Italy. It's not as symbolic as Totti, who stayed at Roma his whole career, but Baggio pretty much belongs to all of Italy. So I agree with you 100%.
There also was Andrea Pirlo, but after he left us, he broke my heart. And
yeah. It was a tough situation because, again, it seems like myself and Omar have a very similar liking to the players that we like, the Fantasista. And imagine Omar being creative. I'm pretty sure those creative players are the ones that he likes, and he picked two top ones there.
But for me, sorry for that, but for me, Seedorf is the best midfielder I've ever seen. I could pick him in any team, that the best teams in the world. Yeah, I would pick Seedorf. Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, it would be hard to not take Seedorf in an all-time favorite starting 11, just because of how dynamic he was, and especially we got him from a really good deal with Inter. That it cost us
the best deal.
The best deal. It cost us Fernando Coco and a couple of balls, but we got Pirlo and Seedorf back in that deal. So it's always a positive when we go there. Again, just touching on Milan, what is your favorite Milan moment? Game, just a moment, anything?
Maybe when we won 4-0 against Barcelona. Yeah, that was a very great moment because I remember that Cruyff, Romario, they said very negative things about Milan, and everyone was saying that Barcelona will destroy Milan easily, and at the end we won 4-0. It was very surprising and was very big moment.
Of course, I'd have to ask you. I think I might know the answer, but your worst Milan moment, your moment when you said, "Wow, very disappointed."
The worst moments. There are many. One of them when Roberto Baggio left us. There was the 6-1 against Juventus in '96, I think. And also when Berlusconi sold or released all these players, Nesta, Seedorf, Gattuso, Inzaghi in one season. Yeah, it was. Or no, I think the toughest one, of course, Liverpool game.
Yeah. And I know where you were going, like Istanbul, and it's all over the chat as well.
Nothing compares to this moment.
Yeah, nothing compares to that moment. I get, but
it's just because I erase it from my mind,
Yeah,
So
it's true. It's true, and a lot of us have. A lot of us have erased Istanbul from our memory because for me that was probably the darkest day that I've ever watched.
By the way, my wife supports Liverpool. So.
Oh, yeah, well, that would have been an interesting dinner.
Yeah.
The thing with that game is, it was a one-off, but I get what you were saying, and it was hard for us and a lot of Milan fans to transition from the Berlusconi era and how soccer has changed since the Berlusconi era, where Milan could have purchased their way out of problems instead of building for the future. And I think that if he would have went through with his plan to build from when he said he wanted to build, I think we would have been in a much better spot, not than we are now, but we wouldn't have had a 10-year slump, a changing owner and stuff. Milan fans and Milan, the club, and for the love of the jersey, did not deserve the 10 years that we passed in almost like soccer limbo where we didn't know who we were purchasing, How have you noticed the difference in how things have changed from the Berlusconi era to now, we'll call it the Elliott era?
Well, the Elliott's still vague. I don't know what they are planning, and I don't know what is on their mind. And they always talk about selling the club and so on. As for Berlusconi, he was a passionate person. He wanted to win, and I remember that every time we see a great player, Berlusconi, signed him. Like I remember Papan, Baggio, Rivaldo, Ronaldinho. Yeah, he would invest to bring happiness to the club. And I like, I also like how Galliani used to sign these players. He was
the Condor.
The
Condor.
So there was a lot of passion during the Berlusconi era. And as for Elliott, I'm not sure what they are planning and what do they expect. We have qualified to the Champions League, but what are we aiming? Are we aiming to win it or not? If Berlusconi was the president, yes, I think he will be crazy and said, yes, we will win the Champions League.
I agree.
So yeah, I like his craziness and I like his passion. So yes, but I think it's time to move on because his management, is a bit old and expired. So I think yes, it's a moment that it should become.
Yeah. No, and I agree. And the craziness, I follow it too. Like this year, my goal that I set for myself. I'm a big person of managing expectations. I wanted to qualify for Champions League. We needed to get over this hump and get back into the tournament that we love and we've won 7 times. Yeah. So for me, place 1 to 4, I didn't care. But I'm not happy with that. Like, that's my craziness. For me, I need to see Milan win. And I need Milan to win Scudetto. I need Milan to win Champions League. So it's hard because, we have Maldini, this polarizing figure and this bandiera for our club at the helm here. But he doesn't have that same style or that same outgoingness as Galliani or Berlusconi. He's more behind the scenes, like he works in the shadows, and which is fine, and it's great because it's less media attention on us. But what did you think about this year's championship race and what Milan did this year?
Well, it's fantastic to qualify to the Champions League after I don't know, 7 years absence. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So yes, of course, I'm happy, and I enjoyed this season, and the team was fantastic. Pioli did a good job, and I was fine also because we were on the top, and then we became fourth and second. But I was fine because I I didn't expect the team to qualify. So my expectation is just to be. It was winning the Scudetto was not my expectation. So yes, it was fine to me to just qualify to the Champions League. So yes, I'm content and happy. It just what made me frustrated is the Donnarumma thing. Yeah, I hardly watched Italy's matches because he did a great job for Italy. And I remember in 2006 when Italians played great. Uh, I was happy to see, Gattuso, Pirlo, and Nesta, and so these Milan players rising the World Cup. But for this tournament, there was no Milan players, and Donnarumma, he left us, so it was
Yeah.
like something hard on me.
Yeah, it's bittersweet for all Milan fans. I could talk obviously as a Ito Canadese that I am. For me, my mindset is once I go into the Euros, I leave the shirt color away because of my Italian heritage of my parents and all that. It's a bit easier for me. But I totally understand your point of view. Usually that connection from someone who's maybe not Italian to root for Italy would be to see some of your favorite players, like in 2006 you mentioned, Nesta, you mentioned you mentioned Pirlo, you mentioned Gattuso. There was also Inzaghi. There was Odo.
Exactly.
You understand? There was a lot of attachment for someone who's a Milan fan to that Italian national team. It wasn't there, and I agree. And for me, the whole Donnarumma thing was, yes, in fact, a soap opera. It showed it showed what soccer has become. It's become a business. There's no attachment to the shirt anymore, and that hurt. But I think I've been actually pretty good. My wife has complimented me that I haven't broken anything when he decided to not sign with us and sign with PSG. But I've come to a conclusion a long time ago. I'll tell everybody and yourself a secret. I haven't put the name of a player on a Milan jersey that I've purchased in almost 10 years. And I don't think I will do it anymore because I don't want to tarnish that jersey by someone who's there just for a couple of years and then leaves. That's how much Milan means to me. I'd rather buy this year's jersey and put Seedorf's name on the back. You understand? So it's someone who's given what he had to give to Milan. So I totally get your point of view with that as well. Uh, Omar, I know it's very late for you, so I have a couple. Just
No, take your time. It's fine.
no. I know that you need to get either drawing or you need to relax to get back into the groove of things. We have another question. I'm gonna tell you his Twitter name, Mark Panic 1893. He wants to know what's the secret to Omar's fantastic designs.
Uh, as I told you before, practicing every day. I try when I draw a cartoon to think that what could, for example, Alberto Derzo do if he wanted to draw, for example, a cartoon about Italy, let's say. So yeah, so I try to think that I'm not Omar Momani. That no, I am Alberto Derzo, and what would he do? And yes, I think that would be a tip or trick that I use. Yeah.
Perfect. Omar, I want to thank you very much. I have one little question I ask all my guests. Omar, I'm gonna assume, do you eat or do you like pasta?
Yeah, definitely yes.
Definitely yes. Okay.
Yeah.
My question, and this is a very important question. I'm gonna say it in Italian. If you don't understand, I'll translate it for you. Okay? Penne lisci or penne rigati?
Penne lisci or penne rigati?
So the penny, the little rocket pastas,
Yes.
No little lines or little lines?
Little lines.
Little lines. You've won yourself a ton more fans because penne lisci, we leave them on the shelf, and penne rigate, we eat them all day long. Omar, I want to thank you on behalf of Milan Weekly Podcast, Milan Club Montreal, and all the listeners for your time. Again, guys, please check out Omar Momani, Twitter, Instagram, and his website for his beautiful designs. Again, I'm sorry, I'm going to take the blame on this problem sharing the website. So that just gives you more fuel to go on to the Omar Momani website and take a look at his prints. Another quick question there, Omar. Is it possible for people to purchase your prints?
Actually, I don't own them. It's for gold or for.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they would not be
I
able to.
think they are available. I think if someone wants a large size of any cartoon, I can send them. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. It was just a question. Like I said, because of me, because of this ugly thing that I have behind me. I'm thinking of other people whose wives have taken over control of the artistic flavor.
Yeah, I think every cartoon in my website can be printed easily. Yes, so
Perfect.
go ahead and print whatever you want. Yes.
Amazing. Omar, I want to thank you again. Have yourself a fantastic evening. We'll talk again. And guys, ovunque sempre, Forza Milan. Forza Milan, everybody.
Forza Milan.
You are listening to the Milan Weekly Podcast, the English voice of Radio Rossonera and Milan fans all over the world.
Donnarumma and the double, sensational from him. Rafael Leao produces a moment of utter magic.
Teo Hernandez al volo! Teo Hernandez! Ancora lui! Una meraviglia!
Ibrahimovic! Zlatan Ibrahimovic! Fuori